Welcome back to Char's Visionary Path podcast. I am your host, Charlene Oglesby, aka Char, and this is a space where we hold real stories for real people on real time. Today is no different at all. We live in a time today that just one single moment, one single video, it allows the world to define who you are, or they think they can define who you are. They begin to dissect you. This is what has happened to my guest today, Mr. Jonathan Prescott. Thank you so much for joining me. I just thank you for your willingness to tell your story. I think your story was extremely important. It was a viral moment. I just want to tell you thank you so much for joining me, and we're just going to go ahead and jump right on in because I think everybody needs to hear this. So before we get into your story, though, I just want to reflect back to who you were prior to this incident happening to you. Who are you? Who were you? And what was your life like?
Well, I'm Jonathan Prescott, as you have stated. My family and friends know me as JoJo or J.O. I was a teacher, an educator, a Black male educator, and I took that title very seriously. I'm still the same person, I would say, even before the viral incident. It was just it was a moment. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the only word that can really describe it, because it wasn't as horrible as it could have been, mm-hmm. but it wasn't great at all either.
Okay.
So
before the incident, you were just vicariously, you were not, not going to say vicariously, you were just living your life. Absolutely. You were living your life as an educator. You're my nephew. I know this.
Yes, ma'am.
And so you were living your life as an educator, and you were just doing the best that you could. So let me ask you this, though. Prior to the viral moment, and we're going to get into the viral moment in just a moment, but prior to that, did you have any type of issue or tension with the person or with the young man that you had the incident? Or was this just totally unexpected?
It was totally unexpected. And it wasn't until, if I'm being completely honest, like 4 days ago, I'm talking about from today, that I actually realized I have seen him before. And when we seen each other, our neighbor, I guess I'll call her our neighbor. Our neighbor was around like January. I moved there in December of 2023. Mm-hmm. So in January of 2023 is actually when I seen his face.
Okay.
And there was a child outside with no shoes on, and she had been out there for a long time. When I walked outside, he was out there with the child, like trying to get her to communicate. With me being an educator, it's easy for me to identify when a child has some type of autism or something like that, So once I picked up on that, I kind of just waited out there with him for a little second. Me and him, we didn't really exchange too many words. I just, asked him what was going on, because clearly it wasn't his daughter. Mm-hmm. And he was telling me that, he had been out there with her for about 20, 25 minutes mm-hmm. looking for her mother. Something in my mind just told me, because it was a lady who had just moved in probably about a week ago. Mm-hmm. And I remember her having a little girl, but I couldn't remember if that was the little girl that I had seen her with. So I just went up there and knocked on the door, and it ended up being her mother. And she said that she was asleep or whatever. So that was the only type of interaction that me and him have ever had. Mm-hmm. He told me that he had called the police to, report, I guess, that the child had been outside unattended for a long time or whatever the case may be. But we weren't friends.
So he was someone that lived in the building too, or you're not sure about that? Maybe he was visiting.
He stayed, and I didn't find out until the incident. He stayed in the building next to me.
Okay.
Yeah, he stayed in the building next to me. I may see him like sometimes walking. Not sure where he's walking. He always had a book bag on. Mm-hmm. But it was no tension between us at all.
Okay. So outside of the incident with the child, you had no other interaction with him at all. Okay. And so let's go to the day that the incident happened. Can you take me back and kind of walk us through the altercation? What actually led up to the altercation? And I know, let me say this too, because I know that you've gone to court, I don't know if there's anything that you cannot say. So whatever you cannot say, please don't say it. But we're gonna try to touch on this as much as we can. So what led that particular day was a normal day, I'm sure. But what actually led up to the altercation?
Well, I have already been to court for it. All charges against me were dismissed.
Okay, good.
So, I'm in the clear.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank
Okay.
God.
Okay.
But so it was a Sunday morning, well, Sunday afternoon, because I didn't wake up until maybe around like 3:30 p.m.
That's
that
not
day.
normal for you.
It's not. So I'm just waking up, but it's Sunday. It's raining. I love a rainy day. I love to just relax, eat my snacks, watch my Netflix, and just let it be what it is.
Okay.
But at the time, as soon as I woke up, I wasn't in the best mood, and that was weird for me, especially on a Sunday morning, because Sundays are my relaxation days. Like, I like to relax on Sundays. I'm not usually too bent about anything on a Sunday. I don't know. It's just something about a Sunday that is just very refreshing for me. But I woke up, I wasn't in the best mood. And my friend at the time, we kind of weren't really seeing eye to eye. So we were having a situation, and he was outside at the time. After about 15, 20 minutes of him being outside, I went outside just to like check and make sure he was okay. Whenever I went outside to check on him, he was outside on the phone. I want to say maybe like 30 seconds later, we see, I'm going to call him Bran.
Okay.
We see Bran walking past. As he walked past, I walked away. Once again, forgot what I went back in the house for, but it was for something quick because I went right back outside. So as soon as I went right back outside, I see them two exchanging words.
Okay.
So I'm confused, trying to see what's going on. So I asked my friend, what's the issue? What's going on? He really wouldn't say too much to me because, like I said, me and him, we're in a situation. So I looked at Brian. I asked him, I said, what's going on? What's the problem? And immediately, I'm talking about immediately, it was, I don't even know what to call it. It was just like an explosion of emotions from him, I would say. It kind of made me feel like maybe you know who I am and I don't know who you are, because it's a lot of animosity over such a small question. But that's just an assumption of mine.
Right. So you weren't initially in whatever exchange was going on between them. You just happened to go down and walk into the exchange.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And upon, I guess an exchange of words, it started to get very, very disrespectful. One thing I will say, I am a man of stature. I am a Black educator, as I said, a Black male educator. So I hold myself in a very high regard. But my respect comes before anything, because I give respect. I give respect to everybody until I feel like, or until I see you don't deserve my respect. And then once I even see that you don't deserve my respect, that doesn't mean I'm going to sit in your face and just disrespect you. I'm just going to remove myself from the situation. So we're going back and forth, and I call it tongue wrestling. For the longest, we're arguing. No one's outside.
Okay.
For a very long time. And somehow we moved from in front of my building to in front of his building.
Okay.
And it's like a little, it looks like the DQ sign. Like it's like an I shape. We're standing right there for a minute, and we're just going back and forth, back and forth. And something in my mind was just kind of like, first of all, I'm getting tired physically. Like, I'm running out of breath sitting here arguing with you. And I kind of just had to step out of myself and look at myself right there in that moment. Just being completely honest. Like, you out here with your shirt off, your hair tied up. Like, we've progressed from this version of you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Don't let anyone drag you back to that person. So I guess I said something. The very last thing that I said, anyone would probably take offense to it, but with the things that he was saying, I'm the type of person, you hit below the belt, I'm going to take it to hell every time, every single time. So once I said what I said, I walked away. And when I walked away, I said, let me go before I have to whoop you. And
But you didn't say it that pretty.
I didn't.
I know you didn't.
I didn't.
I know you didn't.
So, we're irate. And by that time, there are other neighbors coming outside and they're, you know, I guess kind of like catching to see what's going on. And honestly, that's when I was like, okay, let me draw back from this situation because I am a teacher. I don't want nobody to record this or anything like that. So I just walked away. But whenever I said, let me just walk away before I whoop you, prior to that, I'm missing a very important part. As we're tongue wrestling, like I said, once I called him what I called him, he hopped up the most disgusting hawk of spit, and he spit on me. And it kind of like hit me like right here on my neck. So for a moment, I just sat there like with my eyes, because it hit me. Like when it hit me, it hit me.
You
like
were in
I felt like
disbelief.
someone hit me, like physically. So I just had to like stop. And I remember just trying to calm myself down because it's about to go there. You just you just did the most. I've always been taught you keep your feet on the ground, you keep your spit in your mouth. Those are two things that you do. So I'm here with my eyes closed and I'm literally stuck. Like I'm stuck. And I hear my friend saying, let's just go, because he knows me. He knows me. Like he knows me like the back of his hand, truly. And I said, no, I got something for you. So whenever I said I got something for you, I turned around to go to the trunk of my car because my little sister, she plays softball or whatever. So she left a bat in my trunk.
So you were going for the bat.
I was. You are like 120 pounds more than me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy. And if I'm being completely honest, I underestimated your size until I walked up on you, and then I'm like, whoa, you big. You are big.
Real,
you big.
yeah,
fella.
he was very big.
You are big.
But thinking about that bat issue, I know I saw you all fighting with fists, and well, he went a little deeper.
I think that
he
was
went with a
defense
belt
mechanism on his end, because I think anybody in their right mind, if you know that you just spat on somebody and they're turning around to go to their car, you know it's not about to be, and it wasn't about to be good at all.
Right.
I can guarantee, but a part of me truly feels like that was also God in a way too.
Okay, and we're gonna get to that because the fight was really, really ugly, and it was, even when I tried to look at it I think it was last week when I tried to look at it, and I couldn't because that wasn't the person that I knew, because you lived in my house. A lot of people don't know, you know, you hit this viral sensation with this, but you were just JoJo to me. You know, you were my baby. You lived with me for a while. So I just couldn't see that part of it. And it was a really ugly fight. Like literally, it was really, really ugly. I mean, in order for anybody to really understand the depths of the fight, they would have to go and Google the fight, because I mean, not even Google it, because just go look it up, because it's still there. It's still out there. So I know he spit he spit on you, and then you went through this fighting motion, and a belt was involved.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Whenever I said I got something for you, and I turned around to go to my car, at the very beginning of that video, when the belt came out, that was actually me, because I heard him running behind me. So I'm walking to my car, I hear you running behind me, and as soon as I turn around, it's a belt. First of all, I didn't even know you even had on a belt.
Yeah.
Like, where did this belt come from? Like,
and I think
it's kind of funny. Like,
yeah, and I think too that's where a lot of the problem came in, which we're going to get into that too, because I think what happened was people took bits and pieces of that video, and they don't know. First of all, you don't know what led to that situation.
Created their own narrative.
And you don't know how much of that video was actually cut out. You know, so just hearing you say that I was coming back from my car, but nobody knows that, because that part of the video is not even in there.
Right.
So people have cut and did whatever they wanted to get the eyes on the video. Now that's the way I look at it.
And that's absolutely correct.
Yeah. And so because it caught a lot of eyes. It caught a lot of famous eyes. And we're gonna get to that in just a moment too. But I want to ask you too, when did you know? Because someone actually recorded that video without your knowledge.
Right.
So when did you know that, number one, the video had been recorded, and number two, it was online?
The very next day. But like I said, that Sunday was a very
gloomy day for you.
It was, and it was very peculiar. Like it was,
You just
something was just off
Something
from
was
the time that I woke up to the time that I closed my eyes to go to sleep, to be
Okay.
completely honest. And that night, I'm not going to say too much, but
right.
that night, I said, because it was just something, it was on my heart. It really was, because after that whole situation, like I said, I turned around, and boom, I'm in a fight, and things got very bad.
What happened?
So,
yeah, in your mind, you're saying, what happened?
right.
What happened this quick?
And
Why did it
my
happen?
run-in with the police, like
Yeah.
I don't have too many run-ins with the
Right.
police, because I don't know how to communicate with them. I'd rather just stay out of their way.
Right.
So after the whole situation, the police actually came to my door. When they came to my door, they were very aggressive with me, because they went to him first. He was actually the one who made the call, but he called and reported a robbery.
Oh, wow.
So
that's what gave them the initial aggressiveness then.
I believe
because
so.
yeah.
That, and when they looked at him, you have a busted eyebrow, your face is bruised, like, and then they come and look, and I don't have not even a scratch. So they're looking at me like, you know what I'm saying? I guess they're just doing their job and trying to piece everything together, until they started to dig a little bit deeper to find out what really happened.
Okay.
But I just felt bad knowing that a situation that I was involved in sent another black man to jail, if I'm being completely honest, regardless of if we just fought or not.
And we're gonna get to that, because
me.
I want to know about your feelings about that, but we're gonna get, because it's something that I'm gonna ask you about that that's gonna lead us to that.
Perfect.
But at what point did you know that it had been
was
recorded and it was online?
That's where we were.
Yeah. Yeah.
I woke up the next day. And as soon as I woke up, I want to say it was my cousin Decatur who had called me. I had like 3 or 4 missed calls from her, as well as her sister KK. They were both on the phone during the altercation too, which is weird.
Oh, wow.
But my phone was sitting on top of a car. So they had called me 3 or 4 times, and honestly, I paid it no attention. I'm like, I'll call them back in a minute. About 5 minutes later, my friend called me and told me that his cousin had called him and was like, why y'all went viral for fighting or for a fight or something along those words. And immediately my jaw kind of dropped, to be honest. I would be lying if I were to say that I kind of didn't expect it because of how many people it was outside.
Okay.
But I didn't expect for it to be sent to like a blog. I'm expecting someone just to record them and put it on their page or something like that, and just let it be a bygone eventually.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask you. What was your initial reaction to knowing that it was online? How did that make you feel? Because it wasn't a good situation. It wasn't. It wasn't that you were being recorded for something good. This was a really, really ugly fight. So what was your initial reaction to it?
I'm gonna say like 5 or 10% embarrassment, but 95% frustration.
Yeah.
I was more frustrated than anything.
You're more
I really wasn't too embarrassed, to be completely honest. I was more frustrated. Like
that you allowed yourself to even get in that situation.
That I allowed myself to get in that situation, and that grown people are out here recording fights and sending them to blogs for, I don't know if it was for money or what, but I wasn't too appreciative of that.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem, because I just want to be clear when I say this, that we're not glorifying violence at all. You know me, and you've known me for a long time. I'm not glorifying violence, but what I want to glorify with this situation is the redemption of it, how you were able to how you were able to redeem yourself from this. And so that being said, your initial reaction and all of that, but at what point did you know it had gone viral? Because listen, this thing was sent to ATL. I look back at the date of it, May 18th. It was sent to ATL uncensored. It had 3.2 million views within 24 hours. It had 16.3 thousand likes. It had 52,000 shares, all within a 24-hour period of time. And it was like people were glorifying, or they were laughing, they were sharing off what could potentially have been something really, really bad for either you or this other gentleman. So that's what gets me about this social media outlet. It can be good, but it can be really, really bad. And I believe that because when I start looking at it, I'm like, they really don't even know Joe. He's not even that type of person.
At all.
I know this is not the person that I know, because since I've known you, I've never known you to get in a fight. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I've never known you to get into fight. So my thing was like, people are really out here. They're happy to see. They're laughing about. They're laughing about this stuff. So how did it feel seeing yourself in that video? Or let me ask you this: how did it affect you emotionally when you saw yourself in there?
It just kind of made me feel like, what am I doing? I went to school for mass communications and media. And one of the classes I took was African Americans in the media. So we're already portrayed a certain type of way.
Right.
We're already portrayed a certain type of way. And with me being who I am, I'm already received by some people a certain type of way.
Right.
So I feel like I had kind of like let myself down in a way. Like, I'm too smart to even be caught up in something like this. I'm like, just what are you doing? What are you doing? But if I'm being completely honest, maybe like a week ago, I seen it again. It resurfaced. And that's one thing about viral moments.
Yeah, it resurfaced.
That's one thing about viral moments. It's like, even though I've dealt with it and, I've put it behind me, it's out there and there's nothing I can do to take it away. It's been screen recorded. It's been sent here, sent there. It's been all type of things. Snoop Dogg posted it. Lil Duval, all type of people. And in a way, it is kind of funny. Like, when I look back at it, it's kind of funny, but it's just not me.
Yeah, it's not you at all. And you touched on something too, because once ATL, it was sent to ATL Uncensored, then you're right. Celebrities chose to share it as well. Snoop Dogg and Lil Duval. And it was so many people making all of these comments about this situation. And, as they were resharing, they were making their comments based off of this, how many minutes or how many second clip?
I think it wasn't even a full minute.
Yeah, it wasn't even
a full minute that was recorded of a 30-minute long argument, if we're being completely honest. Like, we were out there arguing for a long time.
But all of that was cut off.
Yes.
Yes. What we know that was, I guess that was recorded. We don't know how much of it was recorded.
Right. And I don't know if, one thing I can tell, because like I said, I went to school for media. One thing I can tell, that was multiple videos put into one.
Put together.
People or whoever had sent the video to the blogs, they had used what producers would call cuts. So where they would put in, like, they'll cut this scene and then add this, and basically to just create whatever narrative it is that they want to, want to create. And yeah.
Yeah. And there were I saw a lot of comments that were being made about the situation. What was the most difficult comment that you saw, or the comment that was made that was most difficult for you to kind of like breathe in and breathe out and say, this is what they're saying about me? What was more, and how did you handle it?
I didn't see too much directed about me personally.
Just the fight itself.
It was just the situation.
Right.
And I guess the narrative that they were trying to create as far as it was like a domestic violence situation. Like, I don't even know this man.
Yeah.
So there's no domestic, this isn't a domestic thing.
Because you didn't even know him.
No, I don't even know him.
Right.
So it's not domestic. It's more so just a bad decision caught on camera.
Yeah. There's basically a bad moment.
Completely honest. So I was, and you can't, one thing, I've never had that many eyes on me, regardless of if they knew who I was or not. Right. So me seeing myself in that video and with the comments and stuff like that, you cannot argue with the internet. Like, you just can't. It's too many. You just, you can't. So the easiest way for me to do it was I was just like, okay, well, sometimes you got to laugh to keep from crying.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And I
Sometimes
know
you got to laugh to keep from
that's
crying.
right. And I know that you are, or you keep saying you were an educator. So how, I'm picking up on that word were. So how did this moment change the direction of your career path?
I don't think it necessarily changed the direction. I think it more so just, and maybe it's the same thing, it just changed the route. I think I'm just going a different way.
You're pivoting, having to pivot.
Yeah, that's
And
the perfect
sometimes,
word.
and sometimes it takes those moments and what we think is our moment, or this is where we're supposed to be, something will happen and it'll force us to pivot. And I think that's what happened to you. Not that you're coming out of education, because you'll always be an educator, but maybe now you're just pivoting to something different and greater. You have no idea. You don't know.
Right.
So if were there any type of opportunities that you had maybe on the plate when it came to your, because I know you're into music too, and we're talking about that in just a moment, but were any of the opportunities kind of snatched away from you because of this viral moment?
I don't think they were snatched away, but I do think they were put on pause for a second. That, like I said, that happened on a Sunday. The next day, that Monday, and keep in mind, this happened before the last week of school.
Okay.
So that Monday, as I'm, getting ready to go to work or whatever, not getting ready to go to work. What was I getting ready? I was waking up, but I was doing something. I just remember waking up and getting dressed on that Monday. But whenever I woke up, I can't say her name.
Yeah, don't say names.
One of my colleagues, she reached out to me and she said, we've received over like 50 calls this morning.
Wow.
And students are here talking about a video. And she was like, are you aware of any type of video or something like that? And at that time, I'm kind of in between the decision of, do I not necessarily lie, but do I kind of alter the truth a little bit and be like, no, that's not me. Like, what video are you talking about? Or do I just, be honest? Because I don't want to get caught.
Right. Because that's what was going to happen. There was no way that you were going to be able to hide that. Only for a moment, if for a moment, because I just don't see, just looking at that video, I don't see that you would be able to alter that truth at all. So I'm proud that you stood up and you say, you know what? Yeah, that was me. That was me, because you're taking the initiative to say, that was me. I was in that video, and I'm at fault for being in that video. I'm gonna say that part. I'm gonna say I'm at fault to some degree, because you had no knowledge that anybody was doing that. I'm just in fault. I'm at fault for being in that place. And sometimes we can be in the wrong place at the wrong time. And it just
feeding
turns
into it as long as I did.
And
feeding into it as long as I did. So
that's exactly right.
She told me, she said, well, boss lady want to have a talk with you. She was like, so, try to get here as soon as you can. Like I said, I always wake up late. I woke up kind of late that Monday too, because I already knew I wasn't going to work that day.
Yeah.
Not because of, like I said, I didn't have full knowledge of how viral it was. It was just mentally, I don't want to go to work today. And I kind of felt bad because I teach 8th grade. So that was the last week of me, being with my babies or whatever. But I didn't want what I had going on to
alter your day for the next day, and because you were certainly going with some type of mood.
And I didn't want it to take over what they had going on, because that was such an exciting week for them. They had
that was the
8th
last
grade
week.
graduation, 8th grade picnic. They had all type of stuff going on.
So you didn't want get on to the light to be shined on you, because you knew people were talking about it, and that makes good sense, and that makes that was a good judgment call. So I love that you took on the adulthood. I mean, because an adult would sometimes we just got to make those type of decisions.
And it was a hard decision.
Yeah, and I'm sure
it really was. It was hard
because I know that you love that.
I love my kids. I love teaching. The type of relationship that I built with those kids, and the type of relationships that I built with their parents.
Yeah.
So it was just, And that's why I say the 5-10% embarrassment, it comes from that too.
Yeah.
Because I'm a role model too.
Yeah.
Like whenever we step into the position of a teacher, we're automatically a role
A
model.
role model.
You know,
Exactly.
no matter if it's for those 8 hours or even outside of
Mm-hmm.
work, in the public. Like it's certain things that I won't wear to the grocery store that I wear, let's say, to a bar or something
Right.
like that, because I'm an educator. And even if I'm going to the bar, I'm still gonna kind of like watch what I wear, just in case I see a colleague or somebody
Yeah.
like that. But I was held to a very high regard at my school. So I think my boss was very disappointed.
Yeah.
But she made sure to let me understand that she understood as a
Yeah.
human.
Yeah.
From a boss's standpoint, she was disappointed. But from a human standpoint, she completely understood.
Once she knew what the full story was, she understood that. So looking back, what do you think that you could have done differently?
Before being spat on, I could have just walked away.
Okay.
Being completely honest. And kind of just like letting them have it. It wasn't. It just I don't know, that I keep saying it, but that day was just so weird.
Yeah.
It's like I just wasn't thinking how I would normally think.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
It was a day.
Okay. And I'm glad too that you did not allow this situation to define who you were. You didn't allow the comments to define who you were. You didn't let the shares, the just the bad imagery that it had with it define who you were. And I love that about you, because a lot of times people would think what they think they know about us, or this little spot or this little place that or little piece of information that they think they know, that they don't really know us. So, we all have been in situations, and I tell people in a moment, you don't know what you'll do until you get in that situation. And so that's how I look at things. I don't look at the small picture. I look at the larger picture. So my biggest question to you is, though, even though you've had this moment, that this viral moment wasn't so good, how are you taking steps to make this a positive thing? Because at the end of the day, we still have a vision. That's what my podcast is about, that even though we have setbacks, we go through things in life, we still have a vision.
Right.
How has your vision changed, or has it changed?
Like I was gonna mention it earlier, and I said I wasn't gonna say it out loud, but I'm gonna say it out loud because I'm a person who believes, first of all, as my Big Ma has always told me, no weapon formed against me will
That's
prosper.
exactly right.
That's one thing. So what's for me is for me.
That's right.
And I'm covered in the blood of Jesus. So what's for me is for me.
That's right.
But that
And
night,
nobody can take that away.
right. But like I said, the night that happened, that Sunday night, I did something different, and I prayed out loud. Usually when I pray, I just pray to myself. I prayed out loud, and there was someone else with me. I asked them to join hands with me, and we prayed. And I asked God something very specific, very specific. I'm talking about very specific. And I've always been told, you have to be careful what you ask God for.
That's right.
But I asked him for something very specific. I asked him, if so-and-so is for me, I ask that you take me route A. And if route B is for me, I ask that you guide me down route B. I woke up Monday to all of that, and my prayer had been answered. That question had been answered, just to say the least. But it's so weird. It's weird because he answered my question, but it wasn't necessarily in the fashion that I wanted it.
It's not going to always be that way.
Yeah.
We'll ask God. Yeah, and we'll pray to God. We'll pray to God about things, but we have to be very careful what we're asking him for, because even if he delivers it, it doesn't mean it's going to be delivered how we want to. Right. So we have to be very careful. But we should be specific, because God is either going to grant it or not. And even sometimes when he grants it, he grants it a totally different way. And so whatever your prayer was to him, that is your prayer, and you should keep your prayer to yourself. But I'm glad to know that your prayer was answered. And I pray that God continues to answer your secret prayers, or your, because God only hears your tears, and sees your tears and hears your prayers. And I hope that he continues to do that. But I just want to quickly ask you, if whomever is looking at this, whomever is listening to this, what would you tell a person that is going through public embarrassment right now? What would you tell them? What advice would you give them?
Get off social media.
Yeah.
That's the only way to escape
Yeah.
it. Like, it's literally the only way to escape it.
Yeah.
I kind of used those 3 or 4 days afterwards to just go outside and touch the grass.
Yeah.
For real, for real.
Yeah.
We get so caught up in our phones and electronics and stuff like that. Every single platform I was seeing that video.
Yeah.
On X, on or Twitter as they call it, whichever one. Instagram, Facebook. I seen it everywhere but TikTok, and that's only because TikTok doesn't they don't allow violence and stuff like that, which is great, because if that could have been a whole nother situation too.
Yeah.
But I couldn't escape it, and my only way to escape it was to get off social media and just go outside, walk my dogs. I think I had like a picnic or something like that. I went and bought some fruit from Publix and just went out there and listened to music.
Yeah.
With my little poodle.
So your best advice for them is to remove themselves off of social media.
You have to.
And I can understand that completely, because social media
is a blessing.
It's a beast. It is a beast. So the last thing I want to ask you is, what's next for you, and how do you want to see yourself moving forward?
Moving forward, I think well, first of all, I'm in the process of getting more certifications for my, educator role, because I'm the type of person that feel like it's been it's a minor setback for a major comeback.
That's exactly right.
So, and it was, I want to make it clear, it was my decision to take this year off as an educator, because there's some things that I do want to focus on, like my music.
Okay.
So I just said I'm 28, I'm young, I feel like I still have a little bit of room to make those decisions. And with something like education, and with the accolades that I've received as an educator, I know me going back into that field is not going to be hard at all.
Right.
And it's going to be even easier once I get all of the certifications that, I want to have up under my belt.
Yeah.
So I'm in the process of getting those done. I'm in the process of, I'm still making music.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk about the situation in a song or whatever. It may not be as pretty as it should be, but it wasn't a pretty situation.
That's
it was
exactly
a very
right.
ugly situation. So
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad about that. So being that you said your music, let's let the people know how they can follow you. Follow your music, follow you, anything that you have going on that you would like for everyone to know about. I want you to make sure you tell everybody so they can follow you.
All right. Well, first of all, let me make sure I, give eye contact. I am Jonathan Prescott, also known as Pretty Boy J.O., and you can find me on Instagram as well as Twitter at Pretty Boy J.O., Pretty Boy J-A-E-O, not J-A-Y-O. Pretty Boy is spelled the original way, as it should be. And just, be listening out for some things that I have to say, because, I'm speaking about it now, but there are still some things that I wouldn't dare mention right now in this, you know what I'm saying? Because it got bad.
Yeah, now is not the time, but I'm sure there's going to be some music that's going to come out. So again,
don't listen to the song.
I know, and I'm not going to listen. Listen, I'm not listening to it, because me and Jesus, we got our own thing going. I'm not listening to that. So, but I always support you with that clean music. I'm going to go listen to that. But I do want to tell you, even with that moment, I want to tell you that I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm very proud of how your comeback is. I'm sorry for the setback, but life happens, and it happens to everybody. But my question is always going to be, has your vision changed? And I see that your vision hasn't changed. It's just pivoted. And sometimes we just have to pivot. And so again, I just want to tell you, thank you so much, baby. And I love you from the bottom of my heart. And I'm so proud of you. And I know God has got some great great things in store for you. Okay.
And let me give you your flowers on camera as well, because I have watched you literally build your brand.
Thank you.
Excuse me, build your brand. And as you're building it, it's very inspiring, because sometimes I'm not as motivated.
Oh,
Sometimes I'm not. But watching you use what you had in reach to get to where you want to be,
yeah.
it's inspiring. So I want to give you your flowers as well. Auntie.
Thank you
I
very
forever
much.
love you.
I know it. I know it. You know you might. You know you mine. But I thank you for that, because it's always going. It's never about me. It's all about who I can help along the way.
Right.
My story is eventually going to come out as well. But this platform is for the people that we can reach and that we can teach. So that's what it's all about. But thank you so much for tuning into Char's Visionary Path podcast. We thank Jonathan for his story. I hope that it reaches someone, and just know that social media sometimes can be a beast, but it's exactly how you take it, that negative situation, and you turn it into a positive situation. Your vision should never change, even sometimes if you have to pivot. Make sure that you follow Char's Visionary Path on TikTok. I am on Instagram. I am on YouTube. You can download my audios on Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify. Everything is under Char's Visionary Path. Thank you again.